What's up guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we have built a fully custom Boeing 777 mock. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are so close to 700 subs. That would be amazing if you guys could make that happen by the end of this year. But anyway, let's get started. So starting off this tour, let's first take a look at the interior because that's the most exciting. There are 3 parts in which comes off, and by far this is probably my favorite and the best interior I've ever made on any of my custom Lego airplanes ever. Starting off, let's take a look at the cockpit, and this is the most boring part of the plane. Just basic controls here. We have these two computers slash controls and some levers here, as well as 2 pilot seats. Moving back is the galley, and the design of the galley is kind of embedded into the outside of the plane. As we can see, we have a little food storage slash warmer thing. We have it on either sides, and it does come out here. Normally I'd have a window here, but to save a little bit of space, I decided to go for this design. And over here we just have a sink, and on this side we have a cookie jar and a coffee mug, and over here we have a seat for the crew. Moving back, we have business class, a total of 6 seats, and I added some brand new seats. This was actually inspired by Jang Bricks and his plane, and same with economy class, but what he did was he added brand new business class, and that was something I wanted to do for a really long time, and seeing him do it just sort of gave me the push to do it. Also, Jang Bricks, I saw your plane, it looks amazing, you did a great job with it. But anyway, here's the business class seats. They do recline like this, and I really do like this design because I had a bunch of these parts just lying around. I was like, hey, why not just try to make this into a business class, and it turned out great, so I'm really happy with the way it looks. Moving back is economy class, and I did what Jang did with his plane to save a little bit of space, and what he did was he made it so that the seats would have half the stud of legroom instead of a full stud. And before, I didn't really do this, mainly because I didn't have a lot of these parts right here, and these are staggered, so I had to have a lot of them, and basically I was a complete idiot, and I found out that I had a ton of these parts just lying around. I was just not looking hard enough, and so I made it happen on this plane right here. But as you can see, economy class is really basic, a total of 12 seats. Moving back is my favorite one, and happy to say it turned out really well, and that is the toilets or the bathrooms here. And unfortunately, these doors don't open all the way. They're mainly here for just design. And in terms of functionality, what I did was on this side I have a tap, and on the other side I have a tap. So I'd have a tap on this side. I have a tap here, and on the left I'd have it there. So I was able to make that design work. And at the back we have identical toilets. So the lavatory is definitely one of my favorite parts of this because it turned out really well and is quite functional, because I didn't really think I was able to fit 2 lavatories in this small of a space. So if you guys have seen my other Lego airplanes in the past, such as the 747 and the DC-10, you guys know that I usually use this exterior form factor and the basic aesthetic of the entire plane, such as the white and red exterior with majorly a white body. Majorly, is that even a word? But anyway, mostly a white body with red accents, with the engines and the little strap that goes across the length. I think that just looks really nice altogether. But what's really special about this model in particular is I made a bunch of perfections and modifications to the overall design, both on the exterior and on the interior. the first are the landing gears, and I usually don't show my landing gears because, let's face it, they're not too exciting. But the first one is kind of boring. It's just a really simple wheel. It turns and it just serves its purpose as a front wheel. But the back landing gear is where the money is at, and this is actually retractable. And I actually really like the design of this. So I had these two tires just lying around, and I was like, they'd look good on this plane. So I tried out a bunch of different designs and finally came out with this one. This is probably my favorite, but for a retractable landing gear, which was a quality I did want to do with all my Lego airplanes, just to add a touch of more realism, such as adding flaps, which I did not do, but we'll talk about that in a different video. But the main problem with this is it retracts great, but I couldn't really build like a whole housing or a carriage specifically for this landing gear, because what would happen is I'm transporting it and one of the wheels will just pop down, which with a regular landing gear that's stuck into one place that doesn't move at all, that's one of its benefits. And I feel like there's really no point in having a retractable landing gear. I'm just sort of adding myself a problem, but it does, I'll be honest, it does look really cool, and I really like having these larger tires. But something I do want to do in the future is find a way to build a housing for these landing gears. And if you have a really keen eye for detail, you probably noticed that I got rid of this bottom fuselage and I moved the wing down here. And I know what you're thinking, brick business, this has been done before, you're very unoriginal. Well, to be 100% honest with you guys, no, I did not. I actually had this idea for over a year now. Like, I remember distinctly when I first made my custom Lego airplane video, this one. When I was designing that plane, I remember very distinctly I was gonna do this, like not exactly this design, but something really similar to this. I was gonna get rid of the fuselage and add a landing gear carriage. But the reason why I didn't do that was there was no need for me to do that. And the reason why there was no need is because by saving these red fuselage bottom parts, I could make the plane longer, and that was one of the biggest benefits. But the problem with that is, if I'm gonna make the plane longer, which is essentially the whole point of doing that, I'm gonna need more of these white parts, and you get the exact same amount of the white parts as the red parts. So if I'm gonna make the plane longer, I'm gonna have no white parts left over. So I hope that makes sense, but you guys might be wondering, so why do you have more of these white parts now? And the simple answer is my wrecked up 747. So you guys are getting a sneak peek of the 747 V4, but basically, the 747 is the main reason why, because I can add like these parts on the top story. And you guys are getting a sneak peek of the business class seats. And that's my fully custom Boeing 777 Lego aeroplane mock. Let me know what you think of this plane in the comment section below. Any improvements, any suggestions, I'm always really open to it. But this has to be my second favorite plane that I've ever made after the 747, because that will always have a special place in my heart for it. And before you guys go crazy in the comment section below saying I copied Jang Bricks with his plane, some of this stuff was inspired. I didn't like flat out copy him. And also most of the stuff that you guys see, such as the lavatory and the galley, most of the stuff I had done a really long time ago. Like, I have dozens and dozens of different designs of Lego airplane interiors in the past, but I've never really posted it because none of them were good. Like, I could never like recreate a ton of them, and what I mean by this is I didn't have a path to mass build a lot of them. I know I made a first class seat with working doors, but I was only able to make 2 of them because I didn't have enough seats to make like a proper cabin. So that's the reason I don't do first class suites anymore. And believe me, I have a massive passion for customizing Lego airplanes, and I've done a ton of different designs in the interior, but some of the stuff just flat out didn't work. Like, if you guys have seen the British Airlines business class or the old business class seats, I've tried to recreate like their configuration and it didn't work out. I tried to do the Virgin Atlantic Airlines business class. Again, it did not work out. And I've just tried a ton of different layout designs, but I was either restricted to space or parts. That was one of them. And guys, I'll only post the best quality content, which is why most of the stuff that you guys see is really conservative. But that's the main reason, is I am restricted on parts. And the reason why I was able to make the business class seats was I recently finished my new studio setup. Like, I've been waiting on a shelf to organize all my Lego parts. I gotta give you guys a bit of a tour here, but I have a ton of these parts, and before they were just all in one massive bin, completely unorganized, and I have a bunch of these buildings and stuff here, but now that's all organized. I found lots of the parts that I previously couldn't, and it's all organized, all sorted out. If you guys want to see a separate video on that, let me know in the comment section below. If you guys want to see a tour of all my entire Lego collection, also let me know in the comment section below. And I finished the studio like last week, which is why you guys saw so much of a Lego City 2021, because this desk right here was just full of all unorganized Lego parts, and it took me like 4 days, like three or 4 days of just, like, it took me 2 weekends to just organize all that stuff, and my desk was completely trashed, and I would have to like make videos on the couch or on my bed because I just could not use this desk. It was like flooded with a bunch of Lego parts. But now that I have all this sorted out, and I have a ton of these parts that I can find, I actually know what I have now. I can make a lot more stuff. I am considering to redo my Lego police station and make a couple of new airplanes along the way. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. We are super close to 700 subs. And also, in Australia, which is where I live, we have summertime now, which we have a long 6-week summer break for students, which means I have a lot more time on my hands and I can post more often and better quality stuff. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.